Good morning. It's a little after 8:30 in the morning on Monday, and I'm starting my work week off with the same breakfast as usual. So a cup of tea with a splash of milk, half a cup of oats with 2 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. I have some frozen mixed berries, and I meant to pull just some of them out to put into a bowl to thaw this morning so they'd be kind of room temperature in time for plopping them onto my oatmeal. And I completely forgot, and I don't want to put them on now because I think they'll just drop down the temperature of the oatmeal. So my oatmeal will be cold, but I don't think the berries will be up to room temperature, so then they'll still be frozen while I'm trying to eat the mixture, and I just don't think that'll be pleasant. So no fruit on the oatmeal today, but maybe I will remember for tomorrow. A little bit of a flashback for everybody who watched last week's video. I think it was last week's video. So it's 3 o'clock on Monday, and I'm about to start getting my dinner ready. And I pulled out of the freezer this container. You can kind of see through it, but not well enough to tell what's in it. Now it should be either frozen 0 Point Weight Watcher vegetable soup or frozen extra lean ground beef and veggies. But when I played this little food roulette game last time, it ended up being a barbecued pulled chicken. So I don't know anymore. I have popped the lid, but I haven't looked at it yet. So we're gonna find out together what the base of my dinner for tonight is going to be, and then I will figure out what else I'm going to do with it. So, ooh, freezer burn. It's a lot of veggies and some beans. I'm pretty sure this will turn into soup once it's brought up to temperature. It's a little hard to tell when it's all just in a block like that. It's been in the fridge since yesterday, so I thought I would have thawed a little bit more. But I am fairly certain that this is the 0 Point Weight Watcher veggie soup. So I will get this in a pot and get it warming up and figure out what else I'm gonna do with it. It is 3:40 in the afternoon, and I figured out what to do with the soup, and it did turn out to be soup, so yay me for guessing right. I bought tofu a little while ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, like not the fried tofu I usually buy, just like regular medium firm tofu that's like in a package in water, and I have no idea how to cook it, but I know from YouTubers that I follow who sometimes show cooking on their videos that they'll put tofu, like they'll cut it up into cubes and then they'll put it into soup when the soup is boiling. And I don't think the tofu really has to be like cooked, because I know you can eat it raw. It's just really to bring it up to like a temperature that matches the soup. So as the soup was thawing in the pot, I took about half of the block and cut it up into cubes. Now my ratio is off because there is quite a lot of tofu in here in comparison to like the rest of the ingredients. So maybe I should have done like a third of the block versus about half of it. But I don't know, I'm learning, I'll figure it out. So I've got a whole whack load of vegetables in there, some black beans, the tofu, and yeah, like it's a entirely 0 Point massive bowl of soup. And because it's 0 Point, I'm having some toast with it because bread is life, and any chance to have it, I will take. So here we go, dinner. It is 7 in the evening on Monday. I've been doing a bunch of work with organizing this little alcove space in my apartment. I finally have little bursts of energy where I feel I can actually set up the apartment that I moved into in October. I cannot believe it has taken this long. So it's like a very disorganized place that I live in right now, but I'm hoping that if I continue having days where I have enough energy that I can do some work, I'll actually get it set up sometime, soon-ish. Yeah, anyways, I did some work on that after I finished work, the job that pays me, and now I am exhausted. So I'm also hungry because of being exhausted, I suppose. So I did a big thing of popcorn. It's my second to last sachet of this particular popcorn, so only one more crazy big bowl like this before I hopefully find microwavable popcorn that is a much more normal singular human portion size. And I have a cup of tea to go with it, because of course I do. Why break with the trend? So I'm going to sit down and watch an episode of something, I'm not sure what yet, and just relax. It is 1:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday. I wasn't feeling very well this morning, so I called in sick, and I've spent most of the day resting. Honestly, if I didn't have to go to physio, I don't know that I would really be eating right now, but I have to go to physio, so I need to get something in me. I mean, like, I know I can call and cancel, but if you cancel with less than 24 hours notice, then you have to pay, and I don't remember how much it is, but I know I can't afford it. So I decided just to go with my regular breakfast on a work day because, like, it's pretty easy. So it's just the half a cup of oats, 2 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. It's still a bit runny, but I'll give it a couple minutes to cool down to get to eatable temperature and don't thicken up. And I have a cup of tea that I haven't yet put any milk into. I'm supposed to go to Dragon Boat practice tonight, and I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to make it or not. We're also not supposed to cancel that very last minute either. I pre-made egg salad sandwich mix yesterday, so I'll make the sandwich and I'll take it with me to physio like I had intended, along with all of my gear, and I'll see how I feel after physio. I don't know, maybe by the time there's some food and some caffeine in me and I've been moving around, I'll start to feel better. There's always the hope, right? It is 6:10 in the evening on Tuesday, and I am not at Dragon Boat practice. I'm still not feeling well. I came home after physio instead of going to practice because I'm dizzy and my head is pounding, and I think I would be a detriment to the boat, to be honest, in this state. So I decided, I already made the sandwich that I was supposed to be eating right before practice. So I'm going to eat my egg salad sandwich for dinner. And instead of the granola bar that I packed with me to eat in the car, I've peeled a blood orange, so I'll have a blood orange with it, and of course my cup of tea. Oh, and I changed up the egg salad sandwich mix a little bit. Sorry about that. I added corn to it, so this could be great. This could be horrendous. I have no idea yet. It's 8 p.m. on Tuesday evening, and I've decided to have a granola bar for a snack. It's actually the one that I had packaged to eat on the go with the sandwich when I thought I was still going to be going to practice, but I am not going to practice, or I didn't go to practice. Practice is on right now. And yeah, I have points left for the day, and I'm hungry, but I'm not hungry. I'm really kind of indecisive about what I want, but I didn't really want to go like crazy onto some decadent sort of a treat, and I don't have a lot of snacks around that wouldn't put me way overboard in my points. So granola bar for the win, and of course a cup of tea. It is 11:15 at night. The color on this is really weird. I'm assuming it's because of the cheese slice being such an unnatural shade of orange. I'm going to eat that for 2 points. I still had 4 points left for the day. And normally I'm not so bothered because you can roll over, I think, like up to 4 points. So if you don't eat them all, it's not that big of a deal. But I didn't actually eat like a huge quantity of food. And it's not that I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm super hungry or anything. More just that I wanted to eat closer to all of my points, if not all of them today, just because I have been struggling a bit today. And I want to give my body as much fuel as possible without going over my points, in the hopes that sleep plus the food will mean tomorrow is an easier day. So that means eating something. But I don't really have a lot of things. Well, I didn't have anything that was the exact amount of points to get me right to my point goal for the day. So I'm going with the cheese slice because it's leaving me with like 1 point, and I'm okay with leaving 1 point because that'll take care of the milk I've splashed in my tea today. So 1 cheese slice and 1 cup of decaf tea. It's 2 in the afternoon on Wednesday, and I'm just about to eat. No real reason for why I'm eating so late today, just Wednesday habit, I think, at this point. So I have 2 eggs with the yolks still runny, and then I took about half of a cheese slice and then split that into half, so a quarter for each egg. I know it doesn't look cute, but I just wanted a little bit of cheese, and then some Kewpie mayo drizzled on top, also not cute. 2 slices of turkey bacon, and then 2 pieces of buttered toast. And I have some tea steeping. It's 7:15 in the evening on Wednesday, and I'm just getting my dinner put together, but I thought I would show it to you in stages so you can see all the vegetables before they get covered by the tofu. So this is a mixture of, I think the frozen veggie bags said an Italian blend, and then I added broccoli to it. So these are the veggies all cooked up, and I'm just going to put the tofu on top, and I'll show you the completed dish in just a second. Here we are, the dish with the tofu on top. So I cooked the tofu in a sweet chili sauce that I bought at Trader Joe's apparently. I don't normally cook the fried tofu in a sauce. I actually really like it as it is on its own, and then I'll usually put like a drizzle of like some Kewpie mayo or like a hot sauce on it. But for whatever reason, I decided to add some of the sweet chili sauce to the pan while I was cooking the tofu, and just that I would see what it's like when it's coated in a bit of a sauce. So the veggies are still under there, very hidden, and yeah, dinner. It is a smidge after 9 in the evening on Wednesday, and I'm going to use up the last of my points on some snacks. So I have 4 of the party ring cookies. There are 4 in there, I promise. And then I decided to have one of the Fiber One, those lemon square bar things. I don't really know. What do they call it? They just call it a lemon delight, I think. I don't know. So this is 3 points, and the cookies are 1 point each, so 4, so 7 in total, and that will bring me up to my points allotment for the day. So this will be it for me. And I also have a cup of tea that is currently steeping. Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Thursday, and I am just about to have my breakfast. It is I have a cup of oats, 2 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and a cup of tea with a splash of milk in it in my "Which Please" mug. So the breakfast is not surprising at all, I am aware. I'm really not that original with it, but I like having the oatmeal on the work days, so I'm just gonna keep going with it. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, and I'm just finishing getting my dinner ready. I'm doing half a can of maple flavored baked beans. Just roll with it. Maple flavored things, it's a very Canadian thing, with a cheese slice on top to get all melty and yummy, and then an egg on top of that, because even though baked beans are absolutely chock-a-block full of protein, in my head I was like, add an egg, you need more protein, so I added an egg. Like I said, I'm only doing half the can. This is the one I'm using. Here's the nutritional information. So in the past, not gonna lie, totally would have eaten the entire can as one singular portion, and the whole can would have been my meal. And I probably would have put it on top of like a baked potato with the cheese all melty, but without the egg. So I'm not really sure if half a can is considered a portion, if it's gonna fill me up, if I'm gonna be hungry later. I don't know, it's a little bit of a learning curve for me with this one. But it is kind of nice going back to something I haven't had in a really long time, because like maple flavored anything is good. Maple flavored baked beans, excellent choice. I highly recommend trying them, especially if you want to put them on a potato with melted cheese. I didn't have a potato, or I totally would have done that. Baby potatoes even, if you cook up a bunch of baby potatoes and then kind of cut them into halves or quarters and then put the baked potato over top of them and some cheese on top of that, truly delicious. It's 5 p.m. and I've decided to have a snack. I've peeled 2 blood oranges, and I think that's probably going to be it. I haven't pulled anything else out to have with it right now. I'm not sure, to be honest, if I'm hungry or if I just anticipated that I was going to be hungry because I only had half a can of the beans and sort of half convinced myself that I'm hungry because I think I should be hungry. Do you know what I mean? Like, is it a trick or am I hungry? I'm really not sure. So I thought the oranges were kind of a nice middle ground because they're 0 points. I enjoy them. They'll be a good snack. I'm having 2 of them. And if I'm still hungry an hour or so afterwards, then I'll find something with some points to it, or like, you know, just more substantial. I'm actually having 2 oranges, not just because of the am I hungry or am I not hungry debate, but because the oranges are going soft fairly quickly and I just don't want them to go bad before I can get through them. And I like oranges, so I figure, you know, 2 in one sitting can't be that bad. Also, some of the pieces from one of the oranges are quite firm, so I'm kind of concerned some of them won't actually be very good. I don't know. We'll see how many of them I actually eat. It's 7 in the evening on Thursday, and I am having yet another snack. I am apparently a bottomless pit today. So I'm having 2 pieces of toast for 5 points, and I'm gonna have one of the brownie Fiber One. I always want to call it a bar, but it's not a bar. It's the world's smallest square. I'm never gonna stop being bitter over the size of these things. But anyways, I pulled this out and I was gonna be all, I'll have it after the toast if I still want something. But full disclosure, I'm gonna eat it. So there's not like a, oh, maybe I won't have it moment. It's all gonna be in my stomach relatively quickly. And I have a cup of tea to go with it because that just makes it civilized. It is 8:20 in the morning on Friday, and I'm about to have my breakfast. So a cup of tea with a splash of milk, half a cup of oats, 2 tablespoons of brown powdered peanut butter, and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. And I spilled when I was pouring the tea, so now I've left this trail of moisture on the counter. Yep, it's a morning. Hey everybody, so it's like 5 or 5:30. I just looked at the time and I've already forgotten. It's just a little bit after physio. I'm in the parkade and I'm going grocery shopping because I need ingredients for something that I'm baking tomorrow, as well as, you know, food. But on an empty stomach, because as you know from this video footage, the only thing I've eaten today so far is my oatmeal, which was great, not unhappy about that at all, but that was at like 8 a.m. and it's now 5 something in the evening and I'm going into a grocery store, which is the definition of stupid. So I brought with me a granola bar, 5 points. I'm going to be super bitter about the use of 5 points for this later when I go to make dinner, but I think it might hold off like the worst of the hunger, so that'll stop me from impulse buying is the hope. And I also brought with me, I'm not going to pick it up, but I have, what's it called? A travel mug filled with tea, which I've discovered this travel mug keeps tea or any hot liquid hot for such an incredibly long amount of time that if I make a cup of tea, put it in there, bring it with me to physio, leave it in the car while I go in for 2 back-to-back sessions, I come out, it's still super piping hot. So I'm gonna drink my tea and eat my overly pointed granola bar, and I'm gonna head over to Superstore and do some grocery shopping and then go home, and I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner, but it's going to probably be something very quick because by that point, I think I'm going to be too impatient for anything else. It's 8:36 in the evening and I am so hungry. So I have pierogies and a whole bunch of vegetables, and then over there I've got measured out 2 tablespoons of sour cream. The sour cream is way more thick than the other one that I bought that was fewer points, so I think even though I can have only 2 tablespoons of this one for 3 points, I'll enjoy it more than the other one. The other one was basically soup. So yeah, pierogies, they're a little bit brown from the pan. What I did was I cooked the vegetables first and I added in some spices and stuff with them, and then took the veggies out, put the pierogies in, added a little bit of butter and then some water and put the lid on, and I steamed them. So they're sort of like, they kind of remind me of restaurant. So I'm hoping I don't know, I'm hoping that they're good because I'm really hungry and I just want to eat. So there we go, pierogies and veggies. It's 11:15 at night on Saturday and I'm absolutely starving. I ate like a brunch type meal, I don't know, it was maybe about 10:15ish, 10:30 when we had that. And then I came home and I had a headache, so I sort of rested for a little bit. And then I baked a multi-stepped cheesecake that a friend is picking up tomorrow. And it just sort of, because of how long that took and a phone call with my mom and everything, I'm only now eating dinner. And oh man, seriously super hungry. I know this doesn't look like a lot, but I kind of went past the point of like starving hungry and I'm at the point of like nauseous hungry. So I wanted something simple because I'm also planning on going to bed soon, but something with like some sort of a nutrient. So I've got 2 eggs, of course, and then toast because carbs are life, and then a side salad just with it's like a bagged salad that comes with veggies in there. You can't really see them, they kind of sunk to the bottom, but there's some carrots, some cabbage, I can't remember what else, and I'm going to put a little bit of dressing on top of it. And I have a cup of tea, should have made a decaf, totally didn't. So this is my very late, very simple dinner. I haven't figured out the points for the wrap that I had yet at brunch, so I wanted to be a little bit careful with how many I ate right now, even while keeping in mind that like I'm hungry and I need fuel. It's just been a weird day for food. But so here we go, my dinner, my very, very late dinner. It is 2:46 in the afternoon on Sunday and I am ravenous, so I'm getting something to eat. I wanted to eat earlier, but the cheesecake, which I'm sure I've shown you footage of by now already, was being picked up today by the friend who commissioned it. And so the timing was really off, because I kept thinking if I start making something now, I think she's gonna text that she's closed right when I'm eating, or I haven't even finished cooking yet, and I didn't want to be kind of caught in the middle. And I really only have the one counter space, so I needed the space to be clear and not heated up from any cooking devices, so that I could pull the cheesecake out of the fridge and get it released off of the base from the springform pan, and then actually into the pastry box. So it was just not great timing for me, well, for my stomach, but for the delivery of the cheesecake, everything went quite smoothly. So I have an egg frying, which is what you can hear. I wanted to show you the vegetables in the bowl before they get covered up with everything else. So I have just a load of frozen veggies that I've cooked up. I cooked up an egg to go with it, just to sort of have something other than vegetables going on, because I also have, they're not ready yet, they're not meatballs, they're veggie balls from IKEA that I've had in my freezer forever, and I really need to start going through, because they are freezer burned, my friends. So they will be done in the microwave. I just can only run one thing at a time, so I have to get the egg mostly cooked, and then I can turn off the heat source, and the residual heat from the pan will keep cooking it while I then start the microwave to do the veggie balls. It's all a little dance. So this is why things are sort of done in sections. So this is the vegetables, and when I come back, you will see them covered up with the veggie balls and one egg, and maybe some cheese. I'm kind of feeling some cheese happening. Okay, it is 3 o'clock and I have everything assembled. So the veggies are fully covered. There are 8 veggie balls from IKEA, and then my fried egg. And I decided instead of the cheese, I would drizzle everything with some Kewpie mayo. I realized the drizzling of the mayo doesn't make it look cute, but it does taste good. And if I remember correctly, the veggie balls, while I do enjoy them, they can get a little bit dry. So this way they won't be dry. And then this, the cheesecake, I can't remember if I said this in the previous clip or not, but the cheesecake that my friend bought, when they came to pick it up, her mom came with her, and her mom brought me some homemade Portuguese rice pudding, which is like the sweetest thing ever. I have no idea what it's gonna taste like. She says it's a little bit sweet, which works for me. I mean, I won't be able to taste it anyways, but sometimes I get hints of sweetness, so that's nice. I have no idea how to track this, because I don't really know. I know she said there's like rice and milk and cinnamon, I think, but otherwise I don't really know what's in here. So it'll be a little bit of a guessing game, which makes me equally happy that the egg and the veggies are 0 points, and I just have 5 points for the 8 veggie balls, and then a bit of points for the Kewpie mayo. And this will all be served with a cup of tea. It's a little after 9:30 at night on Sunday, and I'm just now sitting down to dinner, which is crazy. I got caught up reading a book. I swore to myself I was just gonna sit and read for the length of time it took me to drink a cup of tea, and the tea got drunk and I kept reading, and eventually I finished the book and looked at the time and kind of kicked myself. So now I'm having a very late dinner. I had to eat something. I was hungry, and I had like 18 points or something. No, not 18. 16, 13. I had a lot of points left for the day. I can't remember the number anymore. And I just remember thinking like, yeah, I have to eat something. I was gonna go for like a simple toast sort of a thing, but I don't know. I figured I should try to make something that resembles more of a meal and less of a snack. So I have the pasta is the bow shaped because it's my favorite shape, and I tossed in a whole bunch of frozen veggies, and there's the sauce that's in there. There's a half a cup of it. It's like this rosé tomato sauce. I don't actually like it, so I dumped in a bunch of pepper as well in the hopes of making it a little less meh. It's the pasta from, I don't even know how long ago I froze it in 1/4 cup portions, and it's just been in the freezer ever since because I don't care for it, and I also don't eat pasta all that often, so I just haven't had a reason to pull it out. But since I had so many points left for today, and I really like a high sauce to pasta ratio when I do eat pasta, I figured I might as well splurge and have 2 portions of it to my 1 portion of pasta, and yeah, this is what it turned out as. So hopefully it is okay. I mean, I think it will be. It's gonna be as okay as it can be, considering I don't actually care for the sauce all that much, which is fine because eventually I will finish it and then I won't have to eat it anymore. So there we go, a very late dinner.